Hey, welcome once again. This is Striker. Hey, today I wanted to start off right away showing you how I use the new waypoint tool, which Eagle Dynamics added to DCS recently. It's pretty cool. So you hop onto your map and you grab the tool by clicking on that icon up in the top left. All right, so what I like to do for the first waypoint is drop a point somewhere out in the water and set the altitude to 0. And I use barometric as my point. And I click edit, and then you go back to add, so that the next time you click on the map, you're adding a waypoint. Now, if you don't change that to 0 at somewhere that's really low, your subsequent waypoints are going to kind of get stuck up in this at a higher altitude, and you'll have to manually go in and change them all. It can be a bit of a pain. This way, it really works because you can. Like I said, when you add in waypoints, as you'll see, they'll be at or very close, plus or minus like 1 foot, to the actual elevation of the target. So let's look at this comms tower here. Click on that, and as you maybe can see there, the elevation matches on the route tool as well. Okay, so let's say I wanted to add in another waypoint, but I don't want that to be the second one. Right, I want to hit that comms tower second. So I'm going to step back on the route tool, as you'll see here, and I'll make that barracks as number 2. So I need to go to the route tool and step back to the one I want to insert the waypoint after. Click on that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Now that's my second waypoint. And zoom out. So what I'm doing, I'm on the the Burning Skies US Command Center server, and I'm going to go around and I'm going to be targeting the fixed structures for kind of a strike mission. And the idea is that these structures are around an enemy-controlled zone, and that's the little red circles you see. So this is, I think, near Barracks Bridge. I'm looking for all the targets that are around that Barracks Bridge. See up on the top left there. So zoom in, and when you take out all of these targets, we have an outpost and then a barracks. Once you clear out all the enemy fixed structures that are associated with a zone, the zone turns neutral, and then you want to fly in a capture squad. You can fly in either a helicopter or the Hercules if you can land that, find an area to land. All right, so you just want to be thorough, find all the enemy structures in the area. We have an ammo depot here. I'm going to add one more after this that's more towards the other zone, because I've found sometimes I think it's associated with the adjacent zone and it's not, and then I'm trying to find where it is. Now, actually, a nice thing on this server is you can also request critical targets, and critical targets will give you bearing and directions towards enemy structures. But anyway, so over here near this other zone, nothing up there, but there's this barracks down here. And I'm wondering if I'm going to put a waypoint on there just in case. All right, I don't know if I'm going to have enough weapons to hit it anyway. I'm just going to have that in case I want to hit it. That's that. So next thing I'm going to do is I want to get rid of that waypoint 1, right? Because that's just a placeholder. So I go back to it, click delete. Look at that, it's gone. Now my first waypoint is at my first target. So everything's good. Now I'm going to go in and rename, just put a name on that so I know what type of target it is. So this is barracks. I'll just put barracks. Doesn't matter if you spell it right or whatever. It's just for your reference, because you can pull up this tool on the F10 map and it'll show you your notes, because all these, I'm in spectator mode right now, right? All these targets are going to disappear once I join the blue side. So number 2 was that comms tower. And so on and so forth. So, like I said, typically what I'll do is I'll just, as I create them, I'll just type it in. Now, let's say I want to make this, I want to definitely note this ammunition depot, because that takes 2,000-pound penetrator bombs. So I'll definitely make note of that. And so on and so forth. So you get the idea. I'm not going to bore you with me jumping all over the place to do this. So once I'm done, I'm good to go. I'm going to hop out of spectator mode, so I'll select role. And then I'm going to join the blue coalition and join. Now I need to pick dynamic slots, because that's important now on the map. Pick the airbase I want to launch from, and I'm going to pick the F-15E Strike Eagle. I have a predefined loadout, but I do want to go in here and change the fuse settings on these two 2,000-pound JDAMs so that they have a delay. I'm also going to change that middle one. It's a penetrator, but if I use that against some targets, it won't destroy them. For example, the comms tower, it won't actually destroy it if it's a penetrator. And I'll set a delay on the tail fuse just in case I want to use the tail fusings. Everything else is good. I have 3 CBU-97s and 4 GBU-12s, which are laser-guided 500-pound bombs. And I grab the skin I like to use. Everything's good. Hit OK. All right, here we are. Loaded in the aircraft. I'm doing it at a cold start. The nice thing on the command center server, I think it's kind of cool, is you're not just spawning in alone. You got some crew standing around, ready to help you. Fuel truck, generator, all that stuff. So let's get this thing started. Cold start. That green light's on. There we go. Press the finger lifts on the red engine. Love the sound of the startup on this guy. Yeah, Command Center server's been a lot of fun. I know I just saw that the server admin's going to actually working on a different mission generator. So right now he's using Pretense as the core, and then he's added a lot of customizations to it. The guy who makes Pretense said he's done with making stuff for DCS, so it's kind of in a deprecated state. You can still use it, but there's not going to be any new updates. So once we're finished on Persian Gulf map, we're going to load into Afghanistan, which I'm very excited for. I've flown on it a few times, but only on Foria so far.
Low altitude.
And that's an interesting one because it's just a mad dash with everyone yeeting lots of pre-targeted weapons at the next airbase and the next airbase. So anyway, so we'll see how that new the new mission type things goes with Afghanistan, probably within the next week or two. Get my radio set. Got that second engine up to 26%. Move the throttle up to idle, and we're good to go. Setting radio 2 to 305, and you got to do manual AM for that in the Strike Eagle. And that 305 is the AWACS. 251 on radio 1 is the general radio. I also went through and set the IFF, and then I also set up showing radar altitude, setting it for estimated time en route, so how long it's going to be for my travel to my target, and also set up ground speed. All right, so we got the INS aligning. What's going on? Hop into the back seat, turn on the FLIR, laser, arm the ejection seat, turn on these MFDs. I don't have to, but I kind of like them on. Get that ready, and we'll flip on these guys, turn on the radar warning receiver, enable countermeasures to manual only. And I turn these on. I don't know if they do anything, but turn them on anyway. Guess I should look that up. All right, everything's good back here. Let's hop up to the front seat. Okay, so we got the INS is getting ready to align. Just going to center my view a bit, because in VR, the mirror I'm capturing, it's a mirror of my right eye. So if I don't center it up, everything kind of looks shifted to the right, which is fine. All right, so I set the CBU 97s. I come in here and I need to change the fuse so that they'll kick out the skeets at 1,200 feet above ground, above the target. They actually fall lower than that, but if you don't change that, I think it defaults to 700, and there's a 900-foot setting. Both of those, the rods that dispense out of the 97 tend to fall through the ground, and then nothing gets hit, right? It's another bug. I don't know if it's specific to the Strike Eagle or just in general, but 1,200 feet is kind of the magic number in my books to get those things to work on multiplayer. So I'm going to set up all my displays so the way I like them. It's pretty basic because there's not a whole lot of systems in the Strike Eagle currently. Still under development. Kinda, sorta. Alright, a little bright. Adjust those. We'll get the takeoff trim set. You can see that center stick moving back a bit. I'll pull the flaps down. Arm the ejection seat. Now turn on the exterior lights. Pretty good. We just got to wait for the alignment. Now, what we got to do in the Strike Eagles, I'm going to come in and edit those waypoints because they're just normal nav points. I want to change them to target points. So you see we've got all the elevation and all that stuff and stuff set in there. So I'm going to go to 2 and then type in 2, period, enter, then 3. And you just step through all your waypoints, your nav points, and change them to target points if you want to. I just set all those nav points over target, so I'm going to change them all to target points. So you just, to change it, you select the nav point, so 6 or 7. And then you just type 6 dot or 7 dot. Now you see 8s? There's nothing, right? So we didn't create a waypoint for that one. So come back out and change it from 1A to 2 dot. So we can edit 1 and change that into a target point as well. And then we'll go back to 1 dot as our new first target point. See that? How easy is that? We're almost ready. Just waiting for that INS to say OK. It's 0.7, and right after that it goes to OK. All right, we're good. Set this to nav. Make sure the radar's on. Everything is good. All right, I'm happy. Let's get those wheel chocks off.
Chief, remove the wheel chocks. Copy. Wheel chocks are now removed.
All right. Throttle up. Let's get rolling to the runway. Here we are, coming up to the runway. Everything's looking good. Make sure nothing's coming in either way. I'll often check the map as well just to see if there's any friendlies coming in, but or are on the runway. Had a few surprises in the past. Here we look good. Get lined up. Let's get rid of that menu. Throttles to max, mill, looking good. Push into afterburner, release the brakes, and away we go. Once I get up to about 170 knots, that's when I pull up and raise the gear and the flaps. trying to turn on my pilot model here. Use voice attack for that. So one thing I noticed, so I used to fly along level low altitude to about 0.95 Mach, but not so mention that the design of the Strike Eagle's wings is such that it favors above Mach. And so once you push above Mach 1, it has an easy time to maintain that speed above Mach. So now I go just above Mach 1, and then I'll start a gentle pull to about 30 degrees. You'll see we'll continue above Mach 1. I usually like to get up to about 23,000 feet on my way to the target. So as I bank towards my intended nav point or target point, I'll let the nose start to slide down so I can maintain that speed. And now I'm getting close to my desired altitude, so let's get it down to flight level. I still have full afterburners on. And thankfully, a lot of these targets are pretty close, and the Strike Eagle has a ton of fuel. Like, it has a lot. So don't be afraid to use those burners, especially when you're maneuvering over targets or up against an enemy aircraft. All right, we'll do master arm on. We got our FLIR pointing at the target. I'm going to turn off my lights. I always kind of feel weird with my lights flashing when I'm attacking the enemy. And we just got to head to the target. Let's have a look at the map here. You see we can zoom in on where I am and pull up the nav tool. So if you key in what you're going up against, the first one's going to be the barracks. Waypoint 1. Pretty handy, right? And then you can see, you know, if you type in what a name for each one, what the type is, you'll know what your next one's going to be and plan accordingly. You know what you're looking for in the FLIR, because some of those structures are not, they don't really show up very well in infrared, like the ammo bunkers don't. The other buildings typically show up as hot, but they can also be stuck inside of other buildings or on top or in the middle of the forest. So, all right. Right up there in that break in the clouds is where my target is. You can see it on the FLIR as a black object, because I have black hot set. It's a barracks. It's kind of a long structure with a small projection perpendicular at the middle of it. Kind of a typical barracks layout. I'm going to dive down below these clouds. Because my concern is that once I get up there, because I'll need to refine my aim, I'm going to be above the cloud, so maybe I'll just kind of get ahead of that issue. I'll just get below these this cloud layer up ahead. Don't want to go too low though, and just be aware of what kind of SAM threats there are. All right, so that's pretty good, I think. I think we're going to be able to get up to that without issue. We're nice and high. And we'll get a GPU 12 off on it. Okay, here we are. We're coming up on that. We're getting pretty close. Time to release is coming up. We got a good center on that target. Okay, weapons release button is held. You see that line coming down the ASL and one away. I like to roll bank hard, either left or right, and get the target on my 3-9 line. So you see the FLIR, the little box on the FLIR display is showing where it's pointed. So right now it's out my 9 o'clock, which is ideal because the pod is on the left side of the aircraft. kind of make it out down there, but we'll just keep turning. Now in the server, you get points for kills, but this one doesn't show up right away. It shows up as house alarm. Sometimes it takes a minute, but one bomb will do it in. If you get a good hit, it's on fire now, and then you'll eventually get a bomb damage assessment message saying that it's been destroyed. Move on to target 2, which I think was an outpost. There we go. House alarm destroyed. Oh no, it's that comms tower. Okay, there we go. Alright, so I wanted to see how many 500 pounds GPU 12s it will take to destroy the comms tower. I have 3 left, so I was going to fly over and drop one. I was using 2,000 pounders for quite a while, and because I thought that's what it took, because I knew a single GPU 12 would not destroy it. So I've got a GPU 12. I set it to nose tail. We'll see how that goes. Should get the fall line. There it is, coming down the ASL, the azimuth steering line. Weapons releases being held. One away. Brake to the right. And there it goes, falling away. I'm gonna brake hard to the right, get the pod looking out at the 9 o'clock. As you can see, that box sticking out to the left of the crosshairs. That's where the pod's looking relative to the aircraft. So I'm just going to kind of put it in a slight left-hand turn. Target's way down there. Let's see how this goes. All right, time to impact's about 5 seconds. And it's a good hit at the base, but the tower's still standing. So let's come around and try another run. It's on fire, I think. And I saw a bunch of smoke. Yeah, there's off in the distance. Just kind of see it. There's the smoke. You can see a little bit of flame. But it's not enough. So let's pull in here. Get lined up. We'll drop another GPU 12. See how that goes. Fall line's coming down. And weapon 1 away. Brake left this time. Let's guide that in. See how this does. It's still burning pretty good. I was hoping it would destroy it, but no. You see the fire's gone away. The smoke is fading. Time to impact's coming up though. Let's see how it goes. Hey, oh yeah, shack there. We got him. You can see that tower got all kind of bent. Nice big flame. Yeah, that's dead. So 2 GPU 12s on the tower. All right. So what's next here? I think it was that factory thing, or it's shows up as Tech Combine on the map. So we'll see how that goes. This guy's gone. I was just making sure it was actually completely dead. Yeah, it is. Nice. All right, so for this next one, at target point 3 dot, there it is. Gonna get that designated. Let's redo that. There we go. I'm going to push that into the centerline JDAM. There we go. Coordinates are pushed. Typically, I'll adjust it a few more times as I get close. All right. Start heading towards it. Get it centered up on the heading. Command steering line. You gotta be careful with structures because if the crosshair, remember, you're designating the ground as if that structure wasn't there. So if you're aiming for the top of it, it's actually going to be designating the ground on the other side. All right. Almost there. That is away. Get ready for our next target points. So I set the that as my active steer point, so I could start heading towards it. But I do want to keep an eye on. I'm gonna keep the FLIR on that factory so I can see how it goes. Factory's down there. You can see the lasers firing, but it doesn't have to be. It's right down there. There it is. Right overhead. JDAM should hit. There we go. Boom. Yeah, it's dead. All right. Tech Combine's dead. Now, someone said they could take that out with a single 500-pound snake eye, which snake eyes have those fins that pop out in the back and slows their descent. I've tried dropping pairs of GBU-12s on that, a factory type thing, and I could never destroy it. I'll try it again, I guess, but... Alright, so this looks like an outpost. We're back to the... We're going to get on the GBU-12, a single 500-pound bomb. Weapon release. Got picked up probably by an SA-8. Yep. I'm going to break away to the right and start climbing. Going to guide that weapon on in. So these guys are pretty good. A single 500-pound destroys it, registers as a kill. There's a bit of a bug in DCS where a lot of these structures haven't been showing up as a kill. That factory, or the Tech Combine, as it was called, doesn't show up. Ammo depots don't show up. There we go. That one did. Alright. What's up next? Another barracks. Kind of nestled in around some of those other buildings there. It's off at the back left. Oh, there's that... that's the ammo facility. Let's go for that. I'm going to push it to the coordinates to my two 2,000-pound JDAMs that have the penetrator. I have them set to a tail fusing with a 0.06 second delay. 6 milliseconds. And when you get picked up by those SA-8s, all you need to do is just climb up. Typically, once you get about 15,000 feet, they'll leave you alone. 17,000, somewhere around there. Yeah, I was trying to use, so you set up a voice attack profile. Let's watch those come in. So I'm looking for targets of opportunity around here, so I'm using the Intel screen. But see, it says F6 for Intel. Well, I was set up for F7. So there's something weird with the menu where sometimes it's F2, sometimes it's F6, and sometimes it's F7. So I have 3 separate profiles in voice attack. So I'll just switch, when I hop on, I'll switch them to see which, I'll call up the menu, see which one it is. There's one. JDAM, the second hit, now it's dead. So that ammo depot is done. I'm all out of GBU-12s, so I'm going to leave that barracks. So I pull up Intel, look for targets. It drops a circle on the map, so I'm going to use Scratchpad, which also has a mod. I made a couple of videos about it. I'm going to grab those coordinates, assign it to a target point, 10 dot, and load it in. Watch this. It'll key it into the aircraft, to the nav computer. Boom. So now, get rid of that. Now I can request smoke, but again, my thing is set for F7, so we're going to back out, request smoke. Okay, so I'll drop a smoke marker on the specific target in that group of targets that you requested. So watch this. Set that as my target point, which is back there to the left. Let me pull up my CBU 97s. Start turning towards it, and you'll see in the FLIR where the smoke is, because I didn't have it spot on, but right there. Okay. So that's where the specific target is, but it's part of a group of targets. You know, like there might be 3 or 6 or 10 in that group. Could be even more. I've seen it go up to over 20. But the smoke's only going to drop on the one you specifically designated. So I'm going to navigate around here. Yeah, I can kind of make out some down there, so I'm going to designate. Right there, you can see we've got a couple of other things around there. There. I'm going to go take command of the HUD, and then go through that action once more to switch from CC RP to auto. SA8 again, so just start climbing. The time for release is coming up. Refine my aim a bit. There we go. Holding the weapons release button. One away. Now let's see if I can get that on some other targets down there. Looks like a radar right there, actually. Oh, there, look at those vehicles. Lots of stuff around there. All right, let's designate it near those guys. And the 97 will fall and throw all those little skeets around. Take them out. So the 97 is not the wind-corrected one, so there tends to be a little bit of drift. Okay, there we go. If I completed my mission, I could go and land and get my experience points for this. I still have 2 more CBU 97s I'm going to unload on these guys. That red smoke is a lifesaver, isn't it? Make sure you use that. Use the intel menu. You can also use the Reaper. It'll laze targets for you, and it also drops smoke on your targets, but it can be hard to see stuff, especially like I'm up here at around, what, 18,000 feet above ground, and another 97 is away. And yeah, it can be really hard to see, especially in VR with a high-res screen. Things just fade off in the distance. All right. There we go. We got a couple more. That's nice. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the intel menu again and see if I can... I think. No, I'm just going to fly around here, see if I can see any more targets. Looking for little gray neutral dots. I saw some there. I got a cluster right there. Look at that. See that? Oh, it disappeared. There they are. That's what I want. Definitely lots of enemy around here, but trying to track them down is really tricky. Oh, look, there's a looks like a long-range search radar right there, where that large gray ground feature is. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that. That's what I'm going to go for. So I have a good idea of exactly where it is. Let's come around here. I know exactly where that guy is. Yeah, I can see it still. Roll around and dive in on that. Take out that long-range search radar. Right there. One away. That's my last air-to-ground ordnance on the aircraft. Hopefully it gets that guy. Shit, I had a pretty good lineup on him. Get rid of those early warning radars and always helps. Yeah, if you can... It's a big thing, so you can kind of easily see it. And then try and... oh, look at that. Boom, got him. Nice. Oh, you got something else there too. Excellent. Yeah, so, you know, you try and pick a ground, something very distinctive on the ground, and you can sometimes just come back in, extend out of it, come back in, and relocate your target. It'd be nice when the Strike Eagle gets its head-mounted display, helmet-mounted display, but that's going to be a while. So what I'm going to do here is I'm calling up the AWACS. So you just drop a circle on the map and you click on it and type in Magic 11, and that drops the AWACS on it. Just handy to help keeps you informed of where enemy aircraft are, but you don't want to put it right over in the middle of the enemy because they'll shoot it down, right? You need to have it back where it can at least have a chance of surviving, because the enemy will scramble some fighters to take it down. All right, so I'm just headed back to the base. So that circle on the HUD off to the left was where I spawned in. You put in B for your nav point, I'll take you back to that. So I know the runway is oriented east-west to 90 to 70. So I'm coming out here west of it. And then we'll start turning towards it to get lined up. Sun's starting to set. Ordnance is all gone. Time to land and call it a day. I like this base. It's kind of in the middle of a valley here, right? Yeah, the golden hour at sunrise sunset is really nice. The lighting. Really, they've done a really great job with it, I think. That's one of the things I love about DCS. Looks good. It has its challenges, but it's the best game we've got, right? Alright, so I'm coming in at around 1,600, 1,700 feet above ground. Get down to around 300 knots. They do a left-hand overhead brake. Come on reciprocal heading of around 270. As we come around, I'll make sure the speed drops below 250 knots, and I'll drop the landing gear and flaps once I'm done my turn here. All right, there we go, coming down. So I just want to maintain my flight level here. Get lined up properly, make sure I'm the proper distance from the runway. I think it was a little bit close, so pushing away a little bit. Flying into that sunset. Yeah, still a little close. I think there might be a little bit of wind here. It's not too bad. It's just me. All right. We'll begin our final break. Base into the final. Got a good nose down, between 5 and 10 degrees nose down. Maintaining around, I want to get around 20 to 22 degrees angle of attack. Yeah, that pretty good, right? Not too bad.
Low altitude, low altitude, low altitude, low altitude, low altitude.
Yeah, that's fun, right?
Low altitude, low.
It's all the
altitude,
buildings, I think,
low
it causes
altitude,
it to flip
low
out.
Altitude, low altitude.
All right, here we are. Chop those throttles, pop the speed brake. Slow my rate of descent. So those wheels just gently kiss the runway. Oh, a little bit of a bobble there. Maintain the nose up to around 15 degrees. Aero brake. Raise the flaps. Drop the speed brake. Start slowing down. And we'll taxi off the runway. So thanks for watching. And once again, as always, I enjoy making these videos. It's been a while. I took a bit of a break because my VR headset was acting up. But I'm back. Hopefully this was entertaining for you and maybe you even learned something, right? That's what I always look to do. Try and help people out with stuff. All right, well, thanks for watching once again. I know I keep saying that, but I do appreciate it. So you take care, and I will see you soon. Take care.